Hello everyone, Dr. Alan Mandell here. If you're struggling with blurry vision, tired eyes, forgetfulness, or mental fog, especially as you get older, this video may change how you look at food forever. Because today I'm going to show you how 3 simple dry fruits, taken at the right time, can repair vision, strengthen memory, and support brain health naturally while you sleep. You see, the body does its deepest healing at night. When you sleep, your brain detoxifies, your nerves repair, and your eyes recover from daily strain. But this process depends heavily on nutrients, and most people are severely deficient in the ones that matter most for the eyes and brain. Let's start with the first dry fruit. Most people don't realize this, but vision loss and memory decline don't begin in the eyes or the brain. They begin silently at the cellular level, years before symptoms appear, when tiny protective systems fail and damage slowly accumulates every single night. And one of the most powerful natural defenses against that damage is something almost everyone overlooks. Something sitting quietly in kitchens around the world, dismissed as ordinary, when in reality it may be one of the most protective foods for the aging brain and eyes ever studied. Almonds. Inside this small dry fruit is a concentration of nutrients so neurologically active that researchers have linked them to slower cognitive aging, stronger memory retention, and measurable protection against degenerative vision loss. The secret lies in vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that acts like a biological shield, wrapping itself around neurons and retinal cells, protecting them from oxidative stress, the same destructive process responsible for Alzheimer's disease, macular degeneration, and accelerated brain aging. Studies published in journals of neurology have shown that people with higher vitamin E intake experience significantly slower memory decline as they age, not because vitamin E stimulates the brain, but because it prevents neurons from dying in the first place. Every thought you've ever had, every memory you've ever formed, depends on neurons staying alive, and oxidative damage is their silent killer. Almonds deliver one of the highest natural concentrations of vitamin E found in food, and when consumed consistently, they flood the bloodstream with antioxidants precisely when the brain needs them most, during sleep. This is when the brain enters its glymphatic cleansing phase, flushing out toxins that accumulate during waking hours, including beta amyloid, the protein strongly associated with Alzheimer's disease. Without sufficient antioxidant protection, this nighttime detox process becomes incomplete, allowing damage to build day after day, year after year. Almonds don't just protect the brain, they protect the eyes, which are essentially exposed extensions of the nervous system. The retina has one of the highest metabolic rates in the entire body, meaning it produces massive amounts of free radicals every day simply from exposure to light. Vitamin E from almonds stabilizes retinal cell membranes, reducing inflammation and slowing the breakdown of photoreceptor cells responsible for sharp vision. This is why population studies consistently show lower rates of age-related macular degeneration in individuals who consume vitamin E-rich foods regularly. But almonds go even deeper than antioxidant protection. They contain riboflavin, also known as vitamin B2, a nutrient essential for mitochondrial energy production inside brain cells. When riboflavin levels are low, neurons struggle to generate energy, leading to mental fatigue, slower reaction times, and impaired memory formation. Riboflavin deficiency has been directly associated with migraines, cognitive fog, and nerve sensitivity, yet it remains one of the most overlooked deficiencies in adults over 40. Almonds provide riboflavin in a form the brain readily absorbs, especially when soaked, restoring cellular energy at a time when the brain is rebuilding itself overnight. Then there is L-carnitine, a compound found naturally in almonds that plays a crucial role in transporting fatty acids into mitochondria where they are burned for fuel. The brain relies heavily on fat metabolism during sleep, and inadequate L-carnitine has been linked to accelerated cognitive aging and reduced mental clarity. Clinical studies have shown that L-carnitine supplementation can improve memory performance and slow mental decline in older adults, yet almonds deliver this compound naturally, without the side effects of synthetic supplementation. But here's where the story becomes truly powerful. When almonds are soaked overnight, a transformation occurs. Soaking removes phytic acid, an anti-nutrient that blocks mineral absorption, and activates enzymes that make vitamin E, magnesium, and B vitamins dramatically more bioavailable. Magnesium alone deserves attention. Over 60% of adults are deficient in magnesium, a mineral essential for nerve conduction, synaptic plasticity, and deep sleep. Without magnesium, the brain cannot fully enter restorative slow-wave sleep, the phase where memory consolidation and neural repair occur. Almonds provide magnesium in a slow-release form that supports relaxation of the nervous system, reduces nighttime cortisol, and allows the brain to fully shut down and repair. This is why people who consume soaked almonds consistently often report deeper sleep, fewer nighttime awakenings, and clearer thinking in the morning, even before they notice changes in vision or memory. And the timing matters. Consuming soaked almonds in the evening or early morning aligns perfectly with the brain's circadian rhythm. During sleep, blood flow to the brain increases, the blood-brain barrier becomes more permeable to nutrients, and neurons become more receptive to repair signals. Almonds supply the raw materials for this repair precisely when the body is biologically programmed to use them. Over time, this nightly nourishment compounds. Neural connections strengthen, inflammatory pathways quiet down, visual processing speed improves. Memory recall becomes sharper, not because the brain is being forced to perform, but because it is finally protected enough to function the way it was designed to. Long-term observational studies have shown that individuals who regularly consume nuts, particularly almonds, have significantly lower rates of cognitive impairment and neurodegenerative disease. This is not coincidence. It is biology responding to consistent protection. And perhaps the most shocking fact of all is how little is required. Just 5 to 6 soaked almonds per day. Not handfuls, not supplements, just a small, deliberate act repeated daily. The tragedy is that most people wait until symptoms appear, until vision blurs, names are forgotten, focus fades, without realizing that by the time symptoms show up, damage has been accumulating for years. Almonds don't reverse time, but they slow the clock. They buy the brain and eyes something priceless: protection. And when protection is given consistently, healing follows naturally. This is not hype. This is physiology. This is prevention. And it begins with something small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, yet powerful enough to protect the most complex organ in your body while you sleep. There is a reason nature shaped the walnut to look exactly like the human brain, because what it carries inside may be one of the most neurologically supportive food structures ever discovered. And modern science is now confirming what ancient medicine hinted at for centuries, that walnuts do not merely feed the brain, they protect it, synchronize it, and help restore it during the most critical hours of repair, while you sleep. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and every memory you form, every image you recognize, every decision you make depends on the integrity of fatty membranes that allow neurons to communicate at lightning speed. When those fats degrade, signals slow down, memory fragments, focus fades, and vision processing becomes sluggish. This degradation accelerates with age, inflammation, stress, and poor sleep, and it is one of the earliest hidden triggers of cognitive decline. Walnuts are one of the richest natural sources of alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that the brain converts into DHA and EPA, the same structural fats that form the backbone of neural membranes and retinal cells. Large population studies published in nutritional neuroscience journals show that individuals with higher omega-3 intake consistently demonstrate better memory retention, faster information processing, and lower rates of age-related cognitive decline. But what makes walnuts extraordinary is not just the presence of omega-3s, it is their delivery system. The fats in walnuts are bound with polyphenols and antioxidants that prevent those delicate fatty acids from oxidizing before they ever reach the brain. Oxidized fats are not protective, they are destructive, contributing to inflammation and plaque formation. Walnuts arrive intact, functional, and biologically usable, especially when consumed in the evening, when the brain shifts from performance mode into repair mode. During sleep, the brain consolidates memories, strengthens synaptic connections, and prunes damaged neural pathways. This process depends heavily on omega-3 availability. Without enough of these fats, memory consolidation becomes inefficient, which is why poor dietary fat intake is strongly associated with forgetfulness and learning difficulty, even in younger adults. But walnuts go beyond memory. They influence sleep itself. Walnuts are one of the few foods that naturally contain melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating your circadian rhythm. Melatonin is not just a sleep hormone, it is also a powerful antioxidant that crosses the blood-brain barrier and protects neurons from nighttime oxidative stress. Research shows that melatonin levels decline significantly with age, which is one of the reasons older adults experience lighter sleep and poorer memory recall. By providing melatonin naturally, walnuts help signal the brain that it is time to shut down, repair, and regenerate. Deeper sleep means more time spent in slow wave and REM phases, where emotional processing, learning, and visual integration occur. This is not theoretical. Controlled studies have demonstrated that diets enriched with walnuts improve sleep latency, sleep duration, and sleep efficiency, leading to measurable improvements in daytime cognitive performance. And then there is inflammation, the silent accelerator of brain aging. Chronic low-grade inflammation damages synapses, disrupts neurotransmitter balance, and impairs blood flow to the brain and eyes. Walnuts are packed with ellagic acid, catechins, and gamma-tocopherol, compounds shown to suppress inflammatory signaling pathways in the nervous system. Inflammation is now recognized as a central driver of neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. The brain does not fail suddenly. It inflames slowly. Walnuts intervene in this process early, quietly reducing inflammatory markers before symptoms appear. Blood flow is another critical factor. Your brain consumes more oxygen than any other organ in the body, and even minor reductions in cerebral circulation can impair focus and visual clarity. Walnuts support endothelial function, improving the flexibility of blood vessels and enhancing nitric oxide production, which allows blood to flow more freely to brain tissue. Improved circulation means more oxygen, more glucose, and more nutrients reaching neurons precisely when they need them most. This is particularly important during sleep, when cerebral blood flow patterns shift to support repair. The visual system benefits as well. The retina is neurologically demanding tissue, constantly processing light, motion, and contrast. Omega-3 deficiency has been directly linked to dry eyes, poor night vision, and delayed visual processing. Walnuts supply the fats required to maintain retinal integrity and signal transmission between the eyes and the brain. Over time, this nourishment supports sharper visual acuity and reduced eye strain. But perhaps the most underestimated effect of walnuts is their impact on stress chemistry. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, a hormone that, when persistently high, shrinks the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. Walnuts contain magnesium and B-complex vitamins that help regulate cortisol release and calm the nervous system. Lower nighttime cortisol allows the brain to enter deeper restorative states, protecting memory centers from stress-related damage. And here is the part most people never hear. The brain does not repair itself evenly throughout the day. It repairs itself at night, when sensory input shuts down and energy is redirected inward. What you eat in the hours before sleep determines whether that repair is superficial or profound. 2 walnuts consumed in the evening provide enough omega-3s, antioxidants, and melatonin to influence brain chemistry throughout the night, not by stimulation, but by synchronization. The brain recognizes the signals, slows its rhythm, and begins the work of rebuilding. Long-term observational data reveals that people who regularly consume walnuts show slower rates of cognitive decline, improved working memory, and better emotional regulation as they age. This is not because walnuts make the brain stronger overnight, but because they protect it consistently, night after night, year after year. Neurodegeneration is not caused by a single deficiency, but by thousands of nights without proper repair. Walnuts help close that gap. They remind the brain how to heal. And the most shocking truth is this: it does not take a supplement, a pill, or a prescription. It takes a simple habit, repeated consistently. 2 walnuts, chewed slowly, taken at the right time. While you sleep, your brain does the rest. Most people see raisins as nothing more than dried grapes, a simple sweet snack, but what they don't realize is that this small, wrinkled fruit carries a biochemical influence on the brain and eyes that is far greater than its size suggests, and in many ways, more strategic than louder, trendier superfoods. Raisins work quietly through circulation, neurotransmitters, and nighttime brain chemistry, targeting one of the most overlooked causes of memory loss and vision decline, reduced blood flow, and impaired neural communication. As the body ages, blood vessels stiffen, microcirculation weakens, and the brain begins receiving less oxygen and fewer nutrients, especially during sleep when blood pressure naturally drops. This slow starvation of brain tissue doesn't cause immediate symptoms, but over years it erodes focus, dulls vision, and weakens memory recall. Raisins intervene at this exact point. They are rich in polyphenols, including resveratrol and quercetin, compounds extensively studied for their ability to protect blood vessels, improve endothelial function, and enhance cerebral circulation. Research published in cardiovascular and neurological journals shows that polyphenols increase nitric oxide availability, allowing blood vessels to relax and deliver more oxygen to the brain and retina. More oxygen means more energy for neurons, more efficient repair, and sharper signal transmission. This is especially critical at night, when the brain is actively reorganizing memories and repairing neural networks. Raisins also contain boron, a trace mineral that most people have never heard of, yet it plays a crucial role in cognitive performance. Studies have shown that even mild boron deficiency is associated with reduced attention, slower reaction time, and impaired short-term memory. Boron influences how electrical signals travel between neurons, affecting learning and information processing. Raisins are one of the richest natural sources of dietary boron, delivering it in a form the brain can use immediately. When consumed consistently, boron helps stabilize neural signaling, making thoughts clearer and memory retrieval faster. But raisins don't stop at circulation and signaling. They directly influence neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that determine how well your brain communicates with itself. One of the most important of these is acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter essential for memory formation, focus, and visual processing. Low acetylcholine levels are a hallmark of cognitive decline and are strongly associated with Alzheimer's disease. Raisins provide glucose in a slow, steady form that fuels acetylcholine synthesis without causing blood sugar spikes. This matters because the brain runs almost exclusively on glucose, and erratic blood sugar destabilizes neurotransmitter production. Raisins deliver energy gently, allowing the brain to maintain steady communication throughout the night. This is one reason people who include small amounts of raisins in their evening routine often report waking with clearer thinking and better recall. There is also a powerful sleep connection that most people miss. Raisins contain natural compounds that support serotonin production. Serotonin is not just a mood regulator, it is the precursor to melatonin, the hormone that governs your sleep-wake cycle. As night falls, serotonin converts into melatonin, signaling the brain to enter deep restorative sleep. Deep sleep is where memory consolidation occurs, where visual processing pathways are refined, and where damaged neurons are repaired or removed. Poor sleep disrupts this process, accelerating cognitive and visual decline. By supporting serotonin and melatonin balance, raisins help calm the nervous system, reduce nighttime restlessness, and allow the brain to fully engage its repair mechanisms. This effect becomes even more pronounced when raisins are soaked. Soaking activates enzymes, increases mineral absorption, and reduces compounds that interfere with digestion. Soaked raisins release their nutrients more efficiently, especially potassium and magnesium, two minerals essential for nerve relaxation and electrical stability in the brain. Magnesium deficiency is widespread and strongly linked to insomnia, anxiety, and memory problems. Raisins provide magnesium in a gentle, food-based form that supports relaxation without sedation. Potassium helps regulate nerve impulses and blood pressure, ensuring stable circulation to the brain during sleep. Together, these minerals create an internal environment where repair can happen uninterrupted. The eyes benefit directly as well. The retina depends on constant blood flow and antioxidant protection to process light and maintain clarity. Oxidative stress damages photoreceptor cells, contributing to eye fatigue, blurred vision, and age-related decline. The antioxidants in raisins neutralize free radicals before they can damage retinal tissue. Improved circulation delivers these antioxidants directly to the eyes, supporting clearer vision and reducing strain. Over time, this nourishment helps maintain contrast sensitivity and visual comfort, especially in low-light conditions. Perhaps the most shocking fact is how often memory problems are not caused by irreversible damage, but by years of undernourished brain tissue. The brain is resilient, but it requires fuel, circulation, and chemical balance to function properly. Raisins address all three simultaneously. They don't stimulate the brain aggressively, they stabilize it, and stabilization is what allows healing. Clinical observations consistently show that diets rich in polyphenol-containing fruits are associated with lower rates of cognitive decline and better executive function in aging populations. Raisins, concentrated and easy to consume, offer these benefits in a small, consistent dose. And consistency is everything. Neurodegeneration does not happen in a single moment. It happens quietly, over thousands of nights when the brain fails to fully repair itself. Each night matters. A single tablespoon of soaked raisins consumed in the evening or early morning may seem insignificant, but over weeks and months it supports circulation, neurotransmitters, sleep chemistry, and antioxidant defense. This is not a quick fix. It is a long-term strategy. The kind that works not by force, but by alignment with the body's natural rhythms. The tragedy is that many people wait until memory slips or vision fades before paying attention, without realizing that the brain has been asking for support for years. Raisins answer that request gently, persistently, and effectively. They remind the nervous system how to regulate itself. And when regulation returns, clarity follows. This is not folklore. This is physiology unfolding, night after night. And it begins with a choice so small it's easy to ignore, yet powerful enough to influence how clearly you think and see for years to come.